As promised, now we're going to cross to Washington. It's time to speak with Jon-Christopher from Real Political News, the White House correspondent. Bit of a traditional thing that we have a chat at Christmas. Merry Christmas, JCB.
I've been promoting it on all my websites and everything else.
On your socials.
X and this and all, saying the traditional chat between the amazing Clive Bull and myself.
You're saying all the right things.
Will happen. I know I am. Will happen overnight, and this has become a tradition. And if you listen carefully, we'll explain to you where we're going as a world, as a community, as a global leader.
I hope you can explain it. I'm going to struggle, but the world is going in very strange directions, not least in the USA. But how's your Christmas been so far?
Well, it's been very nice. My wife and I had a bit of Christmas Eve caviar last night and some champagne, and we're going to have a little bit more. And then we have a roast turkey, which is our Christmas tradition.
Oh.
But I usually have lasagna because of some of my Italian heritage. But Michelle makes a brilliant turkey, and I can smell it now. It's ready to go. And when I'm off with you, I'm going to carve it up, and we're going to go on.
Fantastic. So you're going traditional this year, and I'm sure I remember you frequently going for the lasagna, which I think you're the only person I know who has lasagna for Christmas dinner. But actually, why not? But you're going traditional this time.
It's very Italian American lasagna.
Yeah,
that's our heritage, and I'm half Italian, and the other half is Irish and Scottish, so. That's a different story.
But you haven't got a turkey shortage in the US at the moment. We've got the bird flu is affecting the turkey supply here.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'll send you over a few hundred.
Well, have you had that ridiculous thing? What's the thing with the turkeys that the president has to do?
Oh, the pardon.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. Well, this is actually fun. The president, it's traditional, goes way back, but before Kennedy, I believe, and the president usually the turkey gets the old
ends up on the dinner table. Yeah,
ends up on the dinner table. But in the White House, since Franklin Roosevelt, Ben Franklin.
Gone all the way back to Ben Franklin.
I'm getting confused by my line producer, also known as my wife.
Yes.
Ben Franklin wanted the eagle.
Oh, right.
People wanted the eagle to be I could be totally wrong, and I'm going to hear from your callers. But there was a divide between the bald eagle, which is the American, what you see on all the money and everything else. That's the epitome of the American brand is the bald eagle, and then the turkey. And which one would become the national bird? Well, they decided the turkey would become the one that we all eat.
Right.
So, unfortunately, we were feeling bad, and the presidents like Kennedy and I guess Roosevelt and Clinton, Nixon. Well, we don't know about Nixon, and certainly Trump would know. But they would bring out this turkey out onto the back into the south lawn, and they would pardon it, and they would let it go, and it would stay at the Omni Shoreham or stay at the hotel across from the White House.
Very nice.
It was a lovely hotel in a suite for the night, and it wouldn't get conked. It wouldn't cut its neck or its head off, and it would live on, and it would go to some petting zoo, and kids would play with it for the rest of its life, and it never would get eaten. But unfortunately, that's not the destiny of the turkey that I can smell warming in the oven right here.
No. So what's the news with Trump then? I see he's been very busy even on Christmas Day, firing off all sorts of bits on social media, hundreds of messages.
Such horrible things. I mean, people saying such lovely things on Christmas Day. And Ken Burns, who did the American Revolution, is saying beautiful things, and I respond to him, and other people saying lovely things. And there was a sister on there, and talking about how we can give more. And there was a bishop from the cathedral here who was talking about how we can have more love in our heart, and that we shouldn't let people kind of sway us away on that. But Trump has been calling people just horrible, awful names, and it doesn't suit him well. In fact, there's a lot of things that aren't suiting him well, and that's where he's getting a little desperate. You see, Trump won because a small percentage of voters believed he would do better for the economy than Kamala Harris, and people believe that. Now, most Americans now believe that Trump has taken his eye off the economic ball, and 36% approve of his actions, but 57 to 60 do not. And he's talking about affordability. The average American has taken back seat. He has taken back seat to redoing the White House, tearing down the East Wing, which is absolutely stunning. Where we used to go into the White House for pictures of Kennedy and Mrs. Eisenhower and all sorts of beautiful passageways into the East Wing. He tore it down, and he's building the most ridiculous. It looks like the Satyricon, his ballroom, and it's just not at all tasteful. And he's putting his brand on everything. He's ripping that down. He wants to build. Are you ready for this? The Trump Arc de Triomphe. I guess it's the Arc de Triomphe over by the National Cemetery, and he changed the name of the Institute for Peace to the Trump Institute for Peace. And then he's done the most diabolical, and it's really sacrilegious thing. He's put his name, slapped his name up in front of the Kennedy Center for the Performing Arts, and now it's called the Trump Kennedy Center for the Performing Arts, and that is being actively challenged by John Kennedy's daughter, Robert Kennedy's daughter, Kerry Kennedy, and the whole Kennedy family. You don't want those folks coming after you. I know myself 13 of them in this town, and they're a formidable group. And he wants to change all the battleships. This guy's never even gone to war. They call, he got out with 5 deferments for bone spurs, and now he wants to change the battleships and make them. I guess he wants to put gold on them. I don't know. Maybe they're not. He doesn't like. They're Trump battleships, and he's going to gold entrust them and put diamonds all over them. But it's absurd. But people are really getting disgusted with him, and they find him as becoming ludicrous and absurd. Even the most conservative, well, especially the most fiscally conservative Republicans, my kind of Republicans, the Eisenhower. I mean, Nixon is looking really good. G.W. Bush is looking really good, and the Republicans are saying, Donnie, you're really losing it. You look like a lunatic. You're saying such horrible things. And he's now he's having his retribution tour, and he's actually using the Department of Justice and the Attorney General to go after the people that he wants to have recrimination and retribution. And he's trying to charge James Comey and Letitia James and John Bolton. And he wants all of this is in pursuit of his Nobel Peace Prize that he thinks he's going to win. And it's really quite frightening. And I'll tell you something. Here's, personally speaking, Clive, you and I know each other a long time, especially on these soulful Christmas chats. I am concerned about how the Brits and the French and the Germans and the Italians and the people all over the world look at us with Donald Trump as our supposed leader, because I am feeling that they are not going to be trusting us. They don't like what we're doing in the Caribbean with our battleships, with our armadas in there off the coast of Venezuela. I'm afraid that the Brits are going to lose confidence in their greatest ally, and it disheartens me terribly.
And let me just get a quick comment from you as well, from some news that came in not long ago. And Trump has posted this as well to say that it's happened, that there's been an attack, what he calls a deadly strike from the United States against ISIS terrorist scum, as he puts it, in northwest Nigeria.
Right.
Who've been targeting and viciously killing primarily innocent Christians. This announced on Christmas Day, as you said, Venezuela as well. There's a lot going on internationally. What do you think that is about?
I think it's a large part a distraction from his fear of the Epstein files being released, which he's in over his head, and I think he wants to use all of this as a diversion, and he can use anything he wants, and he's got a a Secretary of Defense. He's now calling himself the Secretary of War. It looks like he's a 19-year-old soap opera actor. And I think the fact is that they're looking ridiculous. And no congressional approval for Venezuela strikes, and there will be there's so far I understand no congressional approval for anything else that's going on. So he's acting out of line, and this is illegal. And he cannot do this. But he'll get away with anything he can as long as there's a Republican Congress. And guess what? January begins the 2026 campaign season, and you're going to see if the Democrats take. And I don't speak as a Democrat or a Republican. The Democrats take over the House of Representatives. The gig is up, as we say in television crime drama.
Thank you very much, JCB. Enjoy your turkey.
I sure will. Cheers and happy Christmas.
Thank you very much. More coming up in a moment. This is LBC.